Another beautiful day in the Bay Area as we welcome you to Oakland, California, where today the Houston Astros wrap up a three-game series looking for a win. The A's have won the first two games. In the process, they have moved into a tie in the AL West at 74-49 with the Astros. We haven't had much fun lately, having lost 7 of 8 games, but that's fun.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun. Big hats. They're funny. I like it. We got to have some fun, and we're also going big hats for the win today.
When we look at today's pitching matchup, we have Justin Verlander on the mound for the Astros, which is a good thing as our Shiner Light Blonde spotlight falls on the right-hander.
Yeah, he is very good. He's a good guy to have out there. Blow up a couple of starts ago, but he rebounded nicely and went for 11 strikeouts. He has 8 games this season with 10-plus strikeouts. You wish the record would dictate that that is leading to good production. But right now, we know the pitching has been great for the Astros. We need the offense to step up and back up some of these strong arms. Justin Verlander's a guy to do it today.
We will see what happens. Verlander on the mound against Sean Manaea. See if the big hat works when we come back. Julian Morales on the Astros offense since the All-Star break.
Trying to take the series finale today in their time here in Oakland on a high note and with a happy flight. And they were going to have to do it against some good pitching against Sean Manaea today for the Oakland A's. A.J. Hinch said in those first 2 games, he's seen his team get out to slower starts. So today, be the initiator, put some pressure on Manaea. It would be great to see the offense get going, especially early in this one. It has been inconsistent recently, and if you look back towards the All-Star break and what they've done since, the numbers really start to tell that story. The record in that time, 10-14, and you're looking at the offensive numbers, only batting .218, and the runs per game actually getting some help. As you remember, there's been some lopsided games within that stretch as well. Now, obviously, the injuries to the key players are a big part of what we've seen here recently, but AJ said today, before today's game, he said, I've seen the team maybe try to do too much at times, maybe worry about carrying the load versus just having good at-bats. And when they're doing that, we've seen what they can do. And he said that they've reacted passively at times as well. And so they're missing some opportunities to step up and really do something. Also, guys, TK Blummer, it's easier said than done when you're facing really good pitching. And they're going to do that again today against Sean Manaea.
You're right about that. Manaea has faced the Astros 11 times in his career, so they are very familiar with him as they get a look at the left-hander today. And here's how they will line things up, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. George Springer at the very top, followed by Alex Bregman. Yuli Gurriel plays second base again and hits third. Carlos Correa in the cleanup spot at shortstop. Tyler White back in the lineup, bats fifth. Marwin Gonzalez, switch hitter, playing left field and batting sixth. The DH and batting seventh is Evan Gattis. The former A, Josh Reddick, is in right field. And Martin Maldonado behind the plate bats ninth.
Left-hander Sean Manaea for the Oakland A's going up against these Astros in 25 starts this season. Has a pretty good record at 11-8, 102 strikeouts in 151 2/3 innings pitched. The ERA, home and road, not too big of a difference, but it's that batting average against Manaea here at home that is under 200. And he's had some success against the Astros here this season.
Defensively behind Manaea today, Nick Martini in left field. Mark Canha will be in center. Steven Piscotty, a great running catch last night. He's in right field. Matt Chapman, the excellent defensive third baseman. Marcus Semien on the left side. Jed Lowry and Matt Olson on the right side. Jonathan Lucroy behind the plate. And we are ready for baseball. The two teams tied for first in the AL West, and we're underway with a first pitch foul ball off the bat of George Springer, and that is going to head into the crowd. Well, Blummer, all along it was the Astros saying, well, the A's are getting close, the A's are getting close, and here they are, exactly even with them.
Yeah, they're no longer in the rear view mirror. They are pulled up alongside them, and now it's just what do you do from here on out. This season is usually a marathon, but these last couple of games, it's going to be a full-out sprint between a lot of these teams. And it's not so much that the Astros are playing. Yes, the offense is not scoring enough runs. If they were scoring more runs, obviously the record would be better. But you do have to give a little bit of credit to the Mariners. They made adjustments, got better this season, and the A's surprising everybody and playing extremely well.
And Manaea is off to a quick start. A 3-pitch strikeout of George Springer to start this game.
Fastball up and away, beats George.
Manaea, as we've told you on many of our broadcasts, really slings the ball from a low angle. Despite being 6'5", really drops down with that delivery. That release point about a foot shorter than what his height is, as Alex Bregman will dig in there. And he'll take a called strike. Manaea pounding the zone early with 4 straight strikes.
I tell you what, if he's getting that strike down there, that will definitely benefit him. Really rides that fastball.
DJ Rayburn behind the plate today.
Averaging 90.5 miles an hour on that fastball. We've seen him get to 94 when he needs to. Fastball, changeup, slider.
Throwing that changeup a lot more as the season's gone along. And a little fewer sliders as he delivers another strike to Bregman. It's 1-2.
On our MD Anderson strike zone, you see the first pitch down and away. This one down and in for the strike.
Two and 2 the count. Alex leads the team in pretty much every category. Runs scored, RBIs, OPS. He's currently 8th in the American League with an .896 OPS. And reason He is so good at that number, or one of them is he doesn't chase many pitches. He had that 2-2 pitch just up out of the zone and let it go, and now it's a full count. Astros and A's with 39 games to go on the season. Seattle Mariners winning last night in extra innings. They walked it off on a balk against the Dodgers. That put them 3.5 games behind both the A's and the Astros. Astros will see Seattle for 3 beginning tomorrow. On the ground towards the hole, cut off by Chapman. He's got a great arm and shows it off. Another fine defensive play by the Oakland third baseman.
Both Chapman and Simeon over there to cover that left side of the infield with that shift put on Alex Bregman. But I'm sure a lot of A's fans are grateful that Chapman's showing some range. That would have been a tough backhand play for Simeon.
Here's Yuli Gurriel taking a called strike. Yuli batting .281 on the season. Last 11 have been a bit of a struggle. 7 for his last 37. I'm used to seeing Yuli go for more than a week without getting on a hot streak. Thought we saw it on the end of the Colorado series at home. Yuli takes one inside for a ball. It's 2-1. He did have an infield hit yesterday, but just 1 for 8 in this series. And that infield hit was the lone hit for the Astros until the 9th inning. 2-2 the count. The Astros have managed just 2 hits over the last 13 innings against the A's. Did not have a hit in the last 4 innings of the extra inning loss on Friday, and only had 2 hits last night, or yesterday afternoon, in 9 innings. .70 degrees at game time. Another very pleasant afternoon for baseball here at the Oakland Coliseum. Swing and a miss. Gurriel goes down. 2 strikeouts in the inning. Manaea 1-2-3 start.
But a big start here this afternoon in Oakland.
Nick Martini leads things off, and Justin fires a fastball for a strike. Sure, there's a lot of A's fans in attendance today that are not thrilled to see Justin Verlander on the mound. He has dashed their hopes and broken their hearts through the years in the postseason here in the Coliseum. It's 0-2. So the game in which the A's are vying for sole possession of first place, the winner of this game will be in first. They face a guy who has been a nemesis to the A's throughout his career. Martini tried to hold up, and he does. Mark Maldonado would have had to chase that baseball as it got away. Instead, it's 1-2. Justin making his 27th start of the season and his 3rd against the A's. In the air to center field, shallow. Springer comes in and makes the play for the first out. Defensively behind Justin Verlander today, you saw Springer in center. He is flanked by Josh Reddick in right and Marwin Gonzalez in left. Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa on the left side. Yuli Gurriel and Tyler White getting the start on the right side. And Martin Maldonado catching Justin Verlander today. Here's Matt Chapman. Chapman 1 for 9 in this series, had his 14-game hitting streak snapped in yesterday's game. And he takes a called strike. Verlander's really been living with that fastball a lot more as the season has progressed. He has thrown that pitch 67% of the time in his last 4 starts. Delivers another one, and he catches the edge again. It's 0-2. Chapman can just shake his head. Not much you can do with those pitches.
Not at all. Just tip your cap and dare him to do it again. But in a 2-strike count, you may want to fight a little bit. But those are 2 paint jobs on the outside corner.
Trying to go back there, just missed. It's 1-2.
That's one thing I like about Justin, is that he will triple up on a pitch if he feels he's got great command, and that's pretty impressive to be able to dot up a fastball in 3 consecutive pitches right there.
As we've mentioned before, it's really not a case of the hitter deciding that's definitely a ball. It's a case of the hitter deciding, I don't think I can do anything with that.
Yeah, you're right. It basically locks you up. You're just going, I've got no answer for that pitch. And then he calls it a ball, and you take a deep breath and stay in the box.
Now it's 2-2. Chapman has moved up throughout the season, now batting in the 2 spot lately for Bob Melvin. Justin staying on the outside edge, but missing on the last 3, and now the count's full.
Testing DJ Rayburn back there, that's for sure. Because Maldonado's body's not moving, the glove is barely moving off that outside corner.
Sunday crowd is revved up today here in Oakland. They realize what's at stake today. 3-2 pitch is sent high in the air to center field. Well hit. Springer all the way back to the track, to the wall, gone. Matt Chapman, after being down the count 0-2 on a 3-2 pitch, hits it over the wall in center field. The A's on the board first.
Well, I guarantee you Chapman was sitting over that outside corner. Basically every fastball that was being thrown in that AB on that outside corner. He didn't get that call on that 3rd pitch, but this one elevated and catching a little more of the fat part of the plate. And Chapman, after a rough day yesterday, puts the A's on the board early with a home run.
6 home runs allowed by Verlander in his last 3 starts plus today, as he faces Jed Lowry. Lowry swings and misses at the fastball. Both starting pitchers going heavy on the fastball early today. Saw that from Sean Manaea in the top half of the inning, and Justin Verlander doing the same in the bottom half. Breaking ball for a strike on Lowry. It's 0-2.
truly a head-to-toe breaking ball.
Lowry wasn't sure if that was a strike. It was just on the outside edge. Verlander pitched against the A's in the postseason here for a Game 5 of the ALDS in 2012. Ended up going the distance in that game on a 4-hit shutout as the Tigers advanced to the ALCS. And then again, the very next year, 2013, another Game 5 in the ALDS against the A's, again in this stadium. And he went 8 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball. Here's a pop-up on the right side. Carlos Correa in the shift makes the play for out number 2. So the last 2 times the A's have been in the ALDS, 2012 and 2013, they've had their season ended by this guy, Justin Verlander. Last time the A's were in the postseason after that was 14 when they played in the wild card game and did not advance to the ALDS. Here's Chris Davis, DH. Davis sends one high and deep. This is a towering shot to left center field, and this ball is gone. Third career home run for Davis against Verlander in 9 at-bats, and the A's lead it 2-0.
Baseball was up there forever. That's 25 home runs given up by Justin Verlander this season. He is a high fly ball guy. And he talked about how he throws so many fastballs, and it seems like recently throwing more fastballs in his starts. And that might be why these A's are jumping on fastballs.
Yeah, the fastball usage has definitely increased here in August, and even going back to his last start of July. The A's have hit 2 out to center and left center. Now a strike to Matt Olson.
And for an offense that is struggling mightily here in the last couple of games, has a early hole to try and dig out of.
Of those 25 home runs you mentioned, 13, more than half, have come in his last 7 starts, including this one. A home run catching up to Justin a little bit lately. 4 of them from the Tigers, his former team, in his final start before the All-Star break. Seattle hit 3 a couple of starts ago at Minute Maid Park, and 2 early ones here today for Oakland. Verlander's not the only one Chris Davis has been able to hit one out against recently. He now has 14 home runs since the All-Star break in 27 games. He has been a huge power source lately for the A's. Called third strike. Olson didn't like the call. Verlander picks up his first strikeout. A's jump on top 2-0 with a couple of home runs. Southwest Airlines, low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. By Arctic, overbuilt, not overpriced. And by your Houston area Hyundai dealers. On we go to the second inning. You saw the ring there from last year's World Championship team. The Astros hoping a repeat, but they have a menacing team in green and gold that has pulled even with them in the AL West and has a 2-0 lead in this game. As Carlos Correa leads things off in the second inning. Carlos 2 for 24 since coming back from the DL. And he hits a line drive into left field. That's a rocket for a base hit. And see if that gets the Astros offense going. Correa clean single to left.
Good swing. Might have been looking on that outside corner because a lot of the pitches from A's pitchers against Carlos in this series have been on that outside corner, but adjusted nicely by bringing the hands in. Solid base hit to left. You hope that leads to bigger and better things for Carlos Correa, because you hate to put a pile of pressure on certain guys in the lineup, but George Springer coming back, the expectation's a little bit higher on him, an all-star. Carlos Correa, if he wasn't injured, might have been on an all-star team. You expect a little more out of those key guys in the lineup, but if those guys can get going, that'd be awfully nice to see and help this offense out a little bit.
With that hit now, Carlos 3 for 25 since coming off the DL. George still 1 for 9 since coming off the DL. So you're right, it's taking those guys a little time to get back in the flow. This guy at the plate now may have been their best hitter here over the past couple of weeks.
I think it'd be hard to argue that he's not. 7-game hitting streak, 400 batting average during that time. And he's had some thump in there too. Multi-home run game that last game in Minute Maid Park.
Tyler up to 7 home runs on the season. And he hits one hard. That's 7 home runs in just 81 at bats. So Tyler has been very good since being called up from AAA Fresno. In his 20 starts this year, he's hitting .328. Astros down early, 2-0. A couple of home runs in the first inning. Matt Chapman and Chris Davis hitting home runs. Naya drops in a breaking ball for a strike. It's 2-2.
It'll be interesting to see how they pitch Tyler White the rest of this AB and maybe a couple more, because he cleared out that inside corner pretty quick with that line drive. It kind of forced Manaya into that breaking ball situation.
Naya's only thrown 2 pitches other than fastballs, 20 of 22 fastballs early on. And he catches the inside corner with this fastball. Tyler was ducking out of the way, but it caught the inside corner, says DJ Rayburn.
Seen a couple pitches in there, pretty well located. Not much you can do about that. As a hitter, typically with 2 strikes, you're trying to cover that outside corner with the fastball and adjust to off speed. But when a guy paints it 92, 93 on the inside corner, you just got to tip your cap and hope to get him next time.
Here's Marwin Gonzalez. Marwin batting .239 on the year, but he's been above 300, .308 his last 14 games. Ground ball towards second. Could be 2. Lowry to Simeon, and they turn a double play. Astros lead the league in hitting in a double plays, and that's how the top of the second ends.
Back to the Houston community. The Astros Foundation invites you to join the volunteer corps to take part in various volunteer opportunities, including game day, activities at Minute Maid Park, craft parties at local hospitals, and much more. For more information, visit astros.com/volunteer.
We head to the bottom half of the second inning in a 2-0 game, and Stephen Piscotty takes a strike. Starting pitchers early on, as we mentioned, heavy with the fastball. Manaea 20 of the first 22 fastballs, and Verlander had a couple of fastballs hit out, but he stayed with that fastball primarily with 14 of his first 20. This is there. It's 1-1. Piscotty continues to do damage against the Astros this year. He's hitting .253 overall, but against Houston, .348 with 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Also made a catch with StatCast rated as a 3-star catch earlier in this series. And a great addition to the A's. You may know that story from earlier in the year when we were here at the beginning of the season. Piscotty traded from the Cardinals to the A's, and basically it was to allow him to be closer to his family and to his mom, who he lost earlier this season. But he's come back and been a big part of this A's resurgence. 2-2 the count. Piscotty and then Marcus Semien and Mark Canha, 6, 7, and 8 in the A's lineup. The A's are playing with some serious mojo right now. They have gone on an incredible run of 40-13. The crazy part is it's the best run of 53 games in the major leagues this year, but it's been matched by the Boston Red Sox, who are currently on the exact same run. So these two teams keep winning, and they keep setting the best marks after 51, 52, 53 games as they match each other win for win. Red Sox lost today, though, so maybe that could happen here. Here's a ground ball towards Tyler White, who makes the play for out number 1. The Red Sox with a 39-12 mark. The A's at 38-13. If you take that even further back, the A's are 40-13 over their last 53, and that's the exact same mark as the Red Sox. Although the Red Sox now with a loss today, 2-0, so that's 40-14. But I mean, you're talking about a team that was, after this last time the A's were hosting the Astros, they were in 4th place. They were about to go to 12 games back of the Astros a few days later. And that's when they went on this incredible run. Boston's done it all year long.
I was just going to say that, you know, the expectation is that Boston could go on one of those runs. They've got the offense that is backing up their pitching. Astros have the best pitching in baseball, but the offense is not picking them up when they need to. But the Oakland A's, you know, it's just a good, young, talented team. A couple of veterans sprinkled in there, and now their bullpen is much better after that trade deadline.
It's funny because it seems like in Oakland this happens a lot.
It's weird. It's an organizational thing. They just celebrated 2002, where they went on a 20-game winning streak.
Right.
So as much as you want to say these guys are going out and doing it, maybe there's a little mystique within the organization.
Ball's hit hard to left field, and that's down for a hit. Semien on the 2-1 pitch with a single into left. Semien's been hot the last couple of weeks for the A's.
Looked like the cutter or slider at 92 off the end of the bat of Semien. Justin throws that slider around 87, 88 miles an hour, but he will power one in there. Sometimes at 92, looks a little more like a cut fastball.
Here's Mark Canha. for a strike. Canna coming in at 250 on the year. Averages dropped down this month, hitting 139 in August. Verlander in his third attempt at winning his 200th game of his career. Just to try to win 200, all of them in the American League. There have been 39 previous pitchers who have won 200 games or more in the AL. Overall, 113 pitchers have won 200 major league games. Swing and a miss, Canna down the count 0-2. And right now he is third amongst active leaders. Bartolo Colon and CC Sabathia approaching 250. Justin has stated he would like to pitch as many as 10 more years. That would be aggressive at age 35, but got to have goals. You could easily see him get to 250, and if he does in fact pitch close to that 10-year mark, 300 wouldn't be out of the realm of possibilities, and that is becoming more and more rare with each decade. Current guys you saw on top of that active list, you wouldn't imagine would have a chance based on age, or CC Sabathia's case. It's been a little bit of a health issue the last couple of years. Wouldn't think either one would get to 300 in their careers. Verlander misses to Canna. Counts 2-2.
And other than that 13, 14, 15 year, 2013, 14, 15 for Justin Verlander, where you kind of wondered, is he on the decline? He's all of a sudden shot back up and proven at 35 years old there's plenty left in the tank.
His numbers still, and while they're not quite to where they were for his MVP Cy Young year, they're still representative of some of his best baseball over the course of a season in his career. Justin put his face in his glove a little bit, which means he was a little frustrated he didn't get that call.
It's a good curveball, but it's off the plate.
Simeon's the one guy who will run for the A's. He's on first with a full count. We'll see if Bob Melvin puts him in motion here. He stays and pitches fouled away. About a month or two, everybody around baseball was saying the American League looks like it's pretty much decided. You've got the Yankees and the Red Sox who are going to make it in the East. You've got the Indians who are going to win the Central. And you've got the Astros who are going to win the West. And then it's between Oakland or Seattle for the wild card picture. Well, things have changed in the last month or two. Now, all of a sudden, the Astros and the A's vying for the division with Seattle 3.5 back. Canna called out on strikes. He has a word for DJ Rayburn on his way back to the dugout. Second strikeout for Verlander.
Might be warranted. You can check it out on our MD Anderson strike zone. Maldonado did a good job of framing that up, but off the plate.
29 and catching 21. Jonathan.
A legitimate issue with that strike call, but Justin will take it. He's now at 219 on the strikeout list for the season. That matches him with his teammate Garrett Cole and with Boston's Chris Sale for the league lead in the American League with 219 strikeouts. Here's Jonathan Lucroy. He takes a strike. Sale back on the DL, so JB and Garrett can go back and forth in their battle for the strikeout lead here in the next week or two. Cole will start that first game in Seattle tomorrow. He will face Felix Hernandez for the Mariners. Simeon was leaning a little bit.
Yeah, he was.
Verlander made it close.
JV picks over a lot, but he caught Simeon in between steps or leaning. That was a
late move back by Simeon.
Verlander, through his career, had allowed some stolen bases 4 or 5 years ago. Had a couple of years back-to-back where he allowed 21 and 24 steals, but he has changed that around the last 3 seasons. He's only allowed a total of 17 stolen bases coming into this year. You combine that with the fact that Martin Maldonado is catching him today. That really helps shut down a running game, which isn't a big part of Oakland's offense, but Simeon's the one guy you have to worry about. Swing and a miss by Lucroy. It's 1-2.
You just love the fact that Maldonado has the reputation around the league to make runners think about it. Anytime you can have a base runner hesitate or worry about his lead or be thinking other than I'm just going to take a bag, it benefits you, and that's what Maldonado does.
See Maldonado still going to that card with Justin Verlander on the mound, working with JV here. There goes Simeon, and it's fouled at the plate. Maldonado was ready to try and cut him down, but the pitch was fouled.
Good pitch to run on. Anytime you can run on off speed, it increases your chances a little bit.
Simeon, 13 of the A's 28 steals on the year. Maldonado has caught 12 of 29 trying to steal. That's second to Salvador Perez. Pitch home is hit high and deep, but it is hooking foul and out of play. Plenty of distance off the bat of Lucroy, but he is a little too quick. He's making Verlander work a little bit here in the first couple of innings, up to 42 pitches. On the ground, a couple of hops. Bregman from deep third makes a good throw on target. That'll do it. One hit, one man left on base. Still 2-0 Oakland.
Time now for today's Chevy Stroh poll. It's on Twitter at ATT Sportsnet SW. Today's question is, what is the biggest factor for a successful season? Is it health, offense, pitching, or team chemistry? Let us know what you think. Vote. We'll tell you which one wins later in the broadcast. TK?
All right, Julia. Speaking of health, how you feeling?
A little sore. I'm good. I'm wondering about tomorrow.
Second day.
Yeah.
We're going to show you highlights later on in the broadcast of Julia Morales running in the Hall of Fame Legends race here yesterday. Good to hear that she's doing fine. We appreciate the effort to enhance our broadcast at any given moment. Raced the Freeze last year. In the Legends race this year. Third inning baseball, and Evan Gaddis leads things off, takes a strike. Gaddis 0 for 3 on his 32nd birthday yesterday. He's in a 3 for 26 hole right now, and he grounds one slowly towards Simeon. And there's one out in the third.
Check out the Astros World Champions commemorative brick program. With the Astros new brick program, fans have the option to customize a brick with a personal message that will line Champions Walkway at Minute Maid Park. For more details and info, visit astros.com/bricks.
Here's Josh Reddick facing Manaea. Reddick, the only lefty in the lineup against Manaea. Manaea starts him off with a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. Still hear a smattering of boos today when Reddick has been introduced, and we heard that more last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say. Just people here in Oakland saw something and heard something that really wasn't what Josh Reddick was reflecting in his statement.
No, and to his credit, he tried to clear it up on Twitter with a statement, but we know as well as anybody, you're only going to hear what you want to hear.
Swing and a miss. Manaea goes down. Reddick goes down on Manaea's 4th strikeout.
Curveball going away from Reddick, tough to catch up to.
So 4 strikeouts of the first 8 batters for Manaea. Now he'll face Martin Maldonado. Cliff Notes version of the Reddick situation. Josh said something about meaningful games here in Oakland. Fans took it as meaning that he did not play meaningful games when he was here with the A's, and Josh simply meant he has not played meaningful games as a member of the Astros here in Oakland. Misunderstanding. Some fans got a little upset about it. Josh tried to clear the air. He's always been
several times.
He's always been a fan favorite here, and I think that's why it bothered him so much that some people felt like that statement was derogatory in any manner towards the A's or their fans.
Personally, I was kind of shocked that they turned on him so quick because he had such a good fan base here.
Sure, it'll go away by the time the Astros are in town again, but kind of disappointing for Josh to hear some boos in this series. Down and in, it's 2-1 to Maldonado. Astros with 1 hit, but Manaea has faced the minimum so far. That base runner Carlos Correa was wiped out on a double play. Maldonado is 3 for 6 against Manaea. Make it 4 for 7. Martin laces one to the wall and left. That's going to bounce against the wall, and by the time it's returned to the infield, Maldonado on second with a double.
More Martin. Home run in this series, double in this series. Mistake with the fastball, and Manaea gets ripped into left field. That's a good thing to see from Martin Maldonado. Second time through the order now for the Astros. A ton of fastballs being thrown by Manaea.
22 of the first 24 pitches in the first 2 innings.
33 pitches total in the game and 27 fastballs.
See if Springer can sit fastball here. He struck out his first time up on 3 fastballs instead.
There you go. He goes to the changeup. And how many times have we talked about it throughout the course of the season? We've even heard AJ kind of mention the fact how he likes to see guys establish 1 or 2 pitches that first time through the order, and then that second, third time through the order, you break out the changeup or the curveball, the slider, and bring out some secondary pitches.
Manaea is never afraid to go to a first pitch changeup either. He is one of the leaders in Major League Baseball the last couple of years in terms of percentage of first pitch changeups, which he showed to George to get ahead 0-1. Now George rips one to left. Maldonado will be held at third as Martini gets to the ball in a hurry, but the Astros with back-to-back hits. Springer a single following the Maldonado double.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to hurt Maldonado's feelings by saying he's not a burner. So going station to station, getting to third base on this base hit. That's another changeup, doubling up on it, but George does a good job of getting the barrel to it and yanking it into left field. But it's also where you're at in the batting order, too. No need to force the issue when you've got Bregman, Gurriel, Correa coming up, Tyler White.
Yeah, with Maldonado's speed, had us taking the conservative approach. Normally he's very aggressive, especially with 2 outs, but that ball got to Martini before Maldonado got to the third base bag. So it's Alex Bregman with 2 outs and 2 on. Ground ball right side, that's a base hit. Astros score a run. It is now 2-1. Bregman taking advantage of that wide open right side.
Exactly right. You can get blown up in these shift situations, look terrible, hit the ball softly, squeak one through on 48 hops, and it'll be a base hit and RBI. That is exactly what Alex Bregman did right there.
Love that.
He said, I am going the other way.
Love that.
You have to love that. That's how you beat the shift.
That was really well done. Bregman with an RBI, his 76th on the year. That leads the team. And now Yuli Gurriel bats with a tying and go-ahead run on base. And Yuli drives one deep to left field down the line. This ball is gone. Home run. 3-run shot. And the Astros have a 4-2 lead. All of this coming with 2 outs and nobody on.
I had a big hat on earlier. Big hits are fun too.
That was one of the bigger ones of the year.
That was huge. It's early in the game, but considering the situation, the series, the moment, facing a pitcher that's done well against the Astros, Yuli showing La Piña power in a big situation. Second time through the order, these guys are making the adjustment. Might get on that off speed, and that's what they did. Yuli doing just enough to keep that fair, but that ball was smoked.
Not far from the broom being held in left field by that fan. This hold
that away.
Yeah, you may want to hold off on that just for now. Here's a strike called to Correa.
Well, how great is it too that it comes right after a guy beat the shift?
It's exactly.
You know, you went small,
Yep.
punch it the other way, beat the shift. Guy behind you comes up, he gets an opportunity, takes a chance, and drives one out.
And all of this coming really with nothing happening in the inning. 2 outs, a soft ground ball, a strikeout. Martin Maldonado gets it started the bottom part of the lineup in the 9th spot with a double. Springer follows up, Bregman, and Yuli, who's been struggling.
Yep.
Good to see La Piña celebrate a little bit. Big smile from that guy. 1-2 the count to Carlos. Inside for a ball. It's 2-2. Well, Minaya decided to go more off speed this inning, and it has not necessarily paid off.
Well, it's just kind of interesting seeing how this inning's unfolded the second time through with these guys doing some damage and hitting primarily off speed, except for Alex going the other way with that fastball. Because you talked about the changeups early in counts. That might have been what they were doing the first time through the order.
3-2 pitch, called strike. Correa looks at a third for the 5th strikeout of the game, but damage done.
And the damage being done by La Piña. Astros needed a big swing in this series. They got it from Yuli. Astros up 4-2. local Ford dealers. Justin Verlander talked about some of the postseason accolades he's gotten here in Oakland. How about 19 starts in his career against these Oakland A's? Great record at 11-6. ERA great at 2.55. Very similar to some of the numbers that he has in this season. With the opponent batting average at 213, the on-base percentage at 275, he feels comfortable in this Coliseum.
Yes, he does, and now he's working with a lead for the first time. And delivers a strike to Nick Martini. Martini flied out to center field his first time up. That'll be the top of the order. Verlander faces the second time around. JB with good overall numbers in the regular season against Oakland. Then you tack on what he's done to them in the postseason. It's even more impressive. Martini with the Cardinals organization last year. Spent time at AA and AAA. Getting an opportunity this year with the A's at the big league level for the first time. Made his major league debut earlier this summer. And he's getting a chance to play here for Bob Melton. Matt Joyce currently on the DL. Dustin Fowler, who we saw earlier in the year playing in center field, has been sent down to AAA. Now it's Martini's opportunity, and he came up with a huge hit on Friday night when he doubled off the wall at right. He scored Ramon Laureano with a tying run in the bottom half of the ninth inning. A's win it in walk-off fashion in the 10th. Martini down on the count, 1-2. Last time Justin faced the A's, he lasted 6 innings and threw 110 pitches. A lot of that was, as he said after the game, he was foul balled to death throughout that game. They kept wasting 2-strike pitches, and Martini, after fouling off a 2-strike pitch, sends one into center. Nice play by Springer. Martini's going to turn around and head back to first. Springer's throw was a little overshot at second base, but at that point Martini had already spun around and headed back. George, a good defensive play.
Went down to get it. Got beat with a fastball up, and Verlander opted for the off-speed down, and Martini got to it.
George keeps at least for now the double play in order. Martini not a big stolen base guy, at least he hasn't been so far in his big league career. He has not attempted a steal for the A's. Here's Matt Chapman. Chapman was down on the count his first time up 0-2. Got back to a full count and hit a home run to center. Justin starts him off with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball for ball 1. Sit here in inning 3 with 6 weeks left in the season after today, and yet this is a relatively big inning in the scope of things. The Astros just took the lead. Verlander facing the top of the order the second time through, and he's your guy. He's your opening day starter. He's probably going to get the ball in the first game of the postseason, and you want to see him have a shutdown inning after the Astros just took the lead.
That's one of the weird things during this rough stretch is when the Astros have gotten leads, whether it be 1 run or 2 runs, it seems like that next inning, that following inning where you want that shutdown inning and that goose egg put up, we haven't seen it. And here we are, leadoff man on.
But he's ahead of the count here on Chapman, 1-2. Doesn't get a chase there. It's 2-2. Chapman with that home run his first time up. 21 extra base hits since the All-Star break. That's the most in the American League.
I'm surprised they don't have a stat for that. Shutdown innings. I just invented it.
It's a big one. I think pitching coaches know who does a good job of that.
No, I completely agree with you on that. Somebody internally is definitely taking care of that. Because it means a lot. It means a lot to the psyche of the ball club. It means a lot to those guys on defense who just picked you up and scored 4 runs.
Momentum ebbs and flows within a season, certainly, and definitely can in the course of a game. And a lot of mo early with those 2 home runs for the A's. The Astros regaining the momentum with a 4 spot in the 3rd. And now a 3-2 count once again to Matt Chapman.
'99.
Wow. I was looking somewhere else. I didn't see that.
JV reaching back.
99 miles an hour in the 3rd inning. You think he doesn't know this is an important spot?
That's exactly right.
Verlander is well aware that even though it's the bottom half of the 3rd inning, based on where the A's have been, how far back they've come, and the fact that the A's led this game and his team gave him the lead once again, it's a big spot early. Like the intensity in the 3rd inning in 99. That one missed. 2 on, nobody out. Updated injury report. HOU Altuve playing today at Tacoma. He sent one up the middle his first time up, but into the shift, and he was retired on a ground ball. Brian McCann caught last night. That was his 2nd game with Fresno. First game catching. DH the first time through, and then Devo continues to rehab. Hopefully we'll see Altuve very soon. Maybe as soon as the Seattle series. We'll find out tomorrow. See how he recovers. Devo maybe would be next on that list, and then Brian McCann will continue to build up towards 9 innings of catching.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how the timing of the schedule and these injuries work out to have these guys on rehab just maybe less than an hour away from where they're going to be in about 8 hours.
That's right. We'll catch you up on how Altuve does in his minor league rehab game today. He'd never been on the DL before, so obviously he's never had a rehab game before. Jed Lowry, the batter, with 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, good pitch down. We saw some of those early on being called by DJ Rayburn, but maybe sensing the moment.
There's a strike. It's 1-1. Couple of runners on. Martini on second. Chapman on first. Lowry, who popped up his first time up, 3 for 24 in his career against Verlander. And Verlander ahead 1-2. Dodgers and Mariners playing the rubber game of their 3-game series over the weekend at Safeco Field. The Dodgers out in front today 5-0 in the 3rd inning. Keep you updated on that score as the Mariners will take on the Astros for the next 3 after today. Mariners will have Felix Hernandez, Mike Leake, and Marco Gonzalez to face the Astros. We know Cole will pitch tomorrow. We know Charlie will wrap up that series Wednesday. Not sure who's going to start Tuesday.
I saw Joe Smith on the bus, and I said, hey, are you angling for that opening start? And he just kind of laughed it off and said, I don't know. If it happens, it happens.
Could be anybody.
Could be.
Ground ball towards second. Yuli to Carlos for 1. The turn double play. Yuli, Correa to White, and that's a big double play for the Astros and Justin Verlander.
So many of them have gone against the Astros. They finally get one in their favor. Getting the ground ball on that curveball. Good feed, and then the arm of Carlos Correa finishes it off.
Astros, we mentioned when Marwin hit into a double play, lead the majors with 116 double plays hit into. The A's are the next closest team.
Thank goodness.
That is now their 104th double play that Oakland has hit into. But Lowry is the one guy who hardly ever hits into a double play. He was 7th in the American League and toughest to double up. Worked out there, though. Here's Chris Davis. Big spot again. Davis sends one towards center field. Again, well hit. Back goes Springer to the wall. Looks up. Off the top of the wall and gone. That ball hit the top of the wall and went over. Davis on 2 pitches today has 2 home runs. And the A's have tied it at 4.
2 pitches, 2 fastballs, picking up the A's and tying this ball game up. He's got good power going the other way. Opens up that front side and takes 98 off the top of the wall. As soon as it hits that State Farm sign, it is out of here because that is behind the wall. 11 opposite field home runs this season.
Just enough, hitting the very top of the wall in right field. His 4th career home run against Verlander in 10 at-bats. Here's Matt Olson.
StatCast AI powered by AWS with that big shift being played against Matt Olson.
Olson misses the breaking ball. It's 1-1. Well, big double play that the Astros turn on Lowry. Looked like Verlander was going to get through the inning. His nemesis Chris Davis gets him again. Nobody has more home runs in all of baseball since the start of 2016 than Chris Davis. Up to 121 in that stretch of 2 full seasons plus this year. Fastball at 98. It's 2-2. A's making Verlander work again today. We mentioned a high pitch count last time he faced them, 110 in 6 innings. Today he's up to 64. Still battling here in the 3rd. Swing and a miss. Verlander finishes the inning with a strikeout, his 3rd of the game, but 2 more runs score. We're tied. All the runs scoring from the A's side on home runs, 3 home runs, 2 by Chris Davis. Justin Verlander and Brent Strom in between innings as Tyler White will lead things off for the Astros in the fourth. Yuli Gurriel hit a 3-run home run to give the Astros a 4-2 lead, and now we're all tied up here. Astros scored just the 1 run yesterday after scoring 3 runs in 10 innings on Friday, so they've matched their total of the first 2 games here today. But they need to work for more as White takes a called strike. It's 1-1. That'll be Tyler White, Marwin Gonzalez, Evan Gattis in the 4th inning. Inside on Tyler, it's 2-1. Tyler was called out on strikes his first time up on an inside fastball. Manaea went 22 out of 24 fastballs to start the game in the first couple of innings. He's shown more breaking balls second time through the lineup. Tyler sends one into center field. Canna is back there in front of the warning track and now drifts onto the track for out number 1.
Those clients are celebrate a special occasion at an Astros game. Minute Maid Park offers fans a variety of premium seating opportunities, including club and suite level seats for any group size. Visit astros.com/suites or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
Here's Marwin. Marwin grounded into a double play his first time up. Had a big road trip last time in which the Astros went 6-2, hitting right-handed. Hit 3 home runs right-handed on that trip. Those are all 3 of his right-handed home runs on the season. Going back to Seattle where he hit 2 of those home runs. Manaea misses. It's 2-0. Marwin also hit probably the biggest home run of that road trip when the Astros were down 1-0, 2 outs in the 9th inning. And Marwin hit a 3-run home run to defeat the Giants. This ball's ripped into center field, coming on Canna, and he makes the catch around his shoe tops. That ball was really hit well, but results in an out.
Not much else you can do if you're Marwin Gonzalez. Squared it up, hit it hard, just in the vicinity where Canna can make the play. Good play coming straight in.
As opposed to yesterday where the Astros had just 1 batted ball more than 96 miles an hour off the bat in the first 6 innings. Today they have hit the ball hard against Manaea. That last one off the bat of Marwin was 106. Here's Evan Gattis. High fly ball left field. Sending Martini back. He's at the track. He is near the wall. He jumps. It's gone. Evan Gattis, who has 9 home runs now here in the Oakland Coliseum, loves hitting this place, and he has just given the Astros a lead once again. It's 5-4.
I'll tell you what, you got to be pretty thankful that Martini drifted to the wall. He didn't get there, find a spot, and then jumped. Late life on that one.
Gattis loves hitting in this stadium.
Yes, he does. Kind of got off the end of the bat, kind of reached out over the plate too, but just enough. You see Martini kind of drifting, didn't really get to a spot.
Fair to say the ball's carrying today?
Yeah, day games are good here. I almost said several different names to name this stadium, but the Oakland Coliseum locked me up again. Just over the outstretched arm.
Pretty good effort.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good effort. He just missed that. In fact, people hesitated for a while. I'm not sure if he caught it when he came down, but Evan just clearing the glove of Martini to give the Astros the lead once again. Breaking ball in the dirt away to Reddick. It's 2-1. Well, here we go. We've had a fun one already. 2 home runs for the A's to start the game. Yuli with a big 3-run home run to give the Astros a 4-2 lead. A's came back with a 2-run shot by Chris Davis to tie it, and now Evan gives the Astros the lead once again. Shot foul at the plate. Is 2-2 on Reddick. Good to see the offense come alive against Sean Manaea. Manaea has been perfect this year in day games, 6-0 with a 2.81 ERA. Josh pops one up. Playable. Foul territory. Matt Olson there. puts it away. But the Astros regain the lead. Evan Gattis hits his 24th home run of the year.
And the starter ERA this season in Major League Baseball for the Houston Astros is the best by a lot. 3.08 ERA for that starting rotation.
Justin Verlander, a big part of that, carrying a 2.52 coming into this game. Today they scored 4 on him, have the A's, 3 of them off the bat of Chris Davis on a couple of home runs, and the other one a solo shot by Matt Chapman. Verlander will work with the lead for the second consecutive inning. And Stephen Piscotty launches one towards left. That sends Marwin all the way back, and he reaches up and makes the backhand play before colliding with the wall. Piscotty making a bid to tie the game, and Marwin makes the play for the first out.
Seems like a good day to hit, huh? A couple of good pitchers getting lit up for 9 runs already, and some hard hit baseballs. Luckily, Marwin playing relatively deep out there. The swing kind of slowed down to match the pitch, but still barreled it up. Left field is not easy here during the day. That was a pretty good play by Marwin.
Lots of room in the outfield here in Oakland. Marwin able to make that play. See if I'll get Justin Verlander rolling here as Marcus Semien takes a pitch outside for a ball. Semien singled to the left his first time up. Marcus last 17 games hitting over 333. Fastball for a strike. It's 1-1. When Verlander struck out Matt Olson to end the third, it moved him into first place in the strikeout department for the season. Strikeout number 220 on the year. Justin could easily get to the highest strikeout total of his career. Astros still with 39 games to go, so roughly 8 times through the rotation. Justin should get 7 more starts on the year, and his career high is 254 in the strikeout department. Tyler White gives it a look, but it's out of play. Actually 254 in 2016. He had 269 in his 2009 season. So today with 220, he's only 49 away from his career high. Swing and a miss. There is strikeout number 4 for Verlander, and the second out of the 4th.
98 on the outside corner is just by Simeon.
You don't usually see 98s, 99s early in a game for Justin. Those are usually reserved for later when he knows the finish line is near. That whiff percentage he saw, 4th best. At that spin rate fastball at the top of baseball right now at age 35, matching his number. 97 to start Mark Canoff.
Well, he's averaging 95 miles an hour on that fastball in the season. He's averaging 96.5 today. That's a reasonable jump.
That's a nice jump.
Topped out at 99.
Even the average through the years hasn't dropped off at all. In fact, his Cy Young MVP season had the same average velocity on the fastball as he had this season, and that was 7 years ago. Doesn't get that low part of the strike zone. It's 2-1. Canna struck out his first time up. Verlander's last 4 regular season starts against the A's. His teams have won, 2 with the Astros and 2 with the Tigers. This is the edge there. Counts 3-1. A's are a supremely confident team right now. They've already come back down 4-2. Now they're down 5-4. As Canna fouls one back. Oakland will have Texas coming to town. After this series, the Rangers will be here for 3 beginning tomorrow night. Three-two pitches popped up. Maldonado trying to find it in the sunshine and puts it away in foul territory. Good 1-2-3 inning for Verlander. Astros lead 5-4. Financing during the Labor Day sale. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. Got to take care of La Pina, especially on a day when he's hit a 3-run home run. Astros lead this game. Yuli gave them a 4-2 lead. A's tied it up, and then Evan Gattis with his team-leading 24th home run of the season in the last inning. And the Astros lead 5-4 as we head to the 5th. Martin Maldonado Got that 4-run rally started with a double with 2 outs and nobody on in the 3rd inning. Maldonado now 4 for 7 in his career against Sean Manaea. Manaea picks up a strike there. It's 1-1. Martin says, just make sure when Justin's pitching, I get that same strike, please. That one's too far out. It's 2-1. Jose Altuve 0 for 2 in his rehab assignment at AAA Fresno, playing in Tacoma today. Struck out his 2nd time up. And it's 3-1. Martin hitting his first Astros home run in the 2nd at bat here Friday night. Started off today with a double. Now he's 3-1. And he drives one towards left center field. It's high in the air, which gives Martini time to get back. He's looking up, and this ball's off the wall. It hits off Canna and bounds away. Maldonado going for 3, and Martin has himself a head-first slide and a triple. Martin Maldonado with a rare triple.
That was awesome. The slide and point at the finish. Are you kidding me?
He looked like Julian trying to finish the race. He wasn't exactly at his top speed at the end, but it worked out well.
Martin obviously sees the ball good off of Manaea. Gets into that 3-1 count. Just elevate today. As soon as that ball kicked off the shoe of Canna, Martin Maldonado didn't hesitate. He said, I'm going to get 3.
He just laid there for a while.
No, he didn't. He dove in and dressed it up, pointed at the boys in the dugout.
Right.
He was like, yeah, that's right.
But he looked very comfortable and happy to be.
That was awesome.
Martin Maldonado had 2 career triples coming into the season. Over almost 1,400 at bats. Infield comes in. Springer fouls one back. It's 0-2. George frustrated. He felt like that might have been a pitch to drive to the outfield.
I don't know why we have to judge a guy by the number of triples in his career, Todd.
Just saying, it
was a little harsh.
It's a rare feat. 2 and.
Speaking of rare feet, got to 3rd on those feet.
Now George down 0-2. You know he wants to drive this run home, and he hits it hard off of Chapman and into left field. Astros will take a 6-4 lead. Springer thinking about 2. Go back to first, George. He slides and dives back in. The Astros lead 6-4 on Springer's 59th RBI of the season.
Let's take a deep breath, fellas.
Gary Cole showing George the 2 thumbs up.
Everybody excited. That is an absolute rocket off the chest of Chapman. Tough to play 3rd base when you got Beast at 3rd at plate and George Springer. Flipped a U-turn pretty quick, didn't he?
That was an exciting tour of the bases.
What is going on?
How can you not love this team?
It's classic.
They've lost 7 of 8. They've just been tied by the A's. They're just showing how much fun they still have. And Garrett Cole perfectly in frame there after an interesting route back to first for George.
Oh, man. You can't take your eyes off them. You got to watch what they're doing.
Well, if Matt Chapman can't make the play, you know that's well struck. George hit an absolute rocket. And the Astros lead it by 2.
Amazingly, only 96.1 miles an hour off the bat. But it's that in-between hop that kind of ate him up, too.
Astros putting up 6 on Sean Manaea as we play in the 5th, and they have bullpen action going. Strike called to Bregman. Alex singled on the right side of the infield against the shift. This time around, Jed Lowry with a runner on first base is on the first base side of the bag. And Alex takes another pitch for a strike. It's 0-2. Last time the right side was wide open, and Alex just grounded one towards that right side for the Astros' first run. More conventional, although Lowry still pinches the middle. popped up beyond first. Matt Olson. This could be a tough play for Olson, and he can't find it. Springer heads into second base. That'll be a pop-up base hit for Alex Bregman. When we showed you how far over Lowry was, he didn't really have a chance at that pop-up, and that's not an easy play for the first baseman at all.
No, it's not, especially when he runs toward the line initially, and it comes back a little bit further into fair territory. You see him getting closer to the foul line. He thought he was running to a particular spot, and then trying to pick it back up over your shoulder is not easy to do. But hey, Astros getting some breaks.
That will be the last batter Sean Manaea faces. They knock him out in the 5th inning. Still nobody out. The Astros leading 6-4. We'll be back after this.
Presented to you by TXU Energy. It's Yuli. Big hit early in this game. Put the Astros ahead 4-2 with that 3-run home run. Saw some of the vitals on that. Ball was well struck. Big hit. Like to see some more action from La Pena. Estimated 404-foot home run.
New pitcher for the A's is Lou Trevino, who comes in to face Yuli Gurriel with 2 on and nobody out. Trevino normally does not pitch this early in a game, but you can tell Bob Melvin feels this is an important spot.
Yeah, he's trying to keep this game right where it's at. Nobody out in this inning, 2 runners on. Command was an issue the other day for Trevino, making his 52nd appearance.
Trevino throws hard, average fastball 97-98. Facing Yuli Gurriel here, the A's have allowed 6 runs. Sean Manaea had never allowed more than 4 in any of his previous 11 starts to the Astros. And today they get him for 6, plus he's responsible for the 2 on base with nobody out.
Yeah, Sean Manaea, it's rare that he gives up 3 or more runs in a game. Kind of gives an idea of how well the Astros are swinging the bat against him today.
Yuli fouls one away. Good swing on the 2-0 pitch. Yuli hitting his 8th home run of the year, now has 61 runs batted in. The ball Yuli hit would have been out regardless of how well it was traveling today. Evan Gattis ball, not so sure. That ball just barely cleared the wall and left. And then the Martin Maldonado triple just seemed to keep carrying in left center field.
Yeah, that ball refused to come down.
It is a day where if you're an offensive player and you get one up in the air, it seems like it is carrying as well as we have seen it all year here. On the hands, Yuli stays alive, 2-2. Yuli's seen that average with runners in scoring position dip down a little bit, but he's still right there amongst the best, just trailing Joe Mauer with a 400 average. As George at second, Alex Bregman on first. On the ground towards short. Simeon to Lowry for one, and Yuli grounds into his 19th double play of the year. On the play, Springer moves to third. Julia.
Hey, this week on Astros Bases Loaded, we take a look back at the Astros Legends Home Run Derby with Preston Wilson and Jeff Blum wired for sound. Also, players tell us how they decided to use their bat and what they do to get them game ready. And then Bart visits with Tony Kemp about the success he's seen this season. All that and more on Astros Bases Loaded after the game, only on AT&T Sportsnet.
All right, Julia, looking forward to that. Astros Bases Loaded, our next edition. Here's Carlos Correa. He faced Trevino in Friday night's game. Trevino was able to strike him out. Carlos 1 for 2 today with a single. Trevino's been tough on Correa. 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts. Be a big run here if the Astros can pick it up after the double play. 4 runs in the third. Houston adding a run in the fourth and 1 more here in the fifth. Pitch away. It's 1-0. One of the reasons Bob Melvin can go to Lou Trevino this early in a game is he has reinforcements in the bullpen that he didn't have the last time the Astros faced the A's. Carlos sends one high in the air to center field. Canna drifts under it and puts it away. The Astros add to their lead. It's now 6-4.
This time a big base hit from George Springer off the chest of the third baseman Chapman. But just keep adding on. 6-4 Astros.
For 3 in Seattle after this one. Seattle trailing today 6-0. And the Angels wrap up this 3-city West Coast trip. Oakland, the Angels, and the Twins when they get back home before heading back out to Boston for the next road trip. Called strike to Jonathan Lucroy to start the bottom half of the 5th inning. Lucroy grounded out his first time up. It'll be Lucroy then the top of the order. A's scoring 2 in the first on a couple of home runs, adding 2 more on Chris Davis' second home run of the game in the 3rd inning. Verlander ahead of Lucroy 0-2. Justin needed that 1, 2, 3, 4th inning, not just to try and settle things down in this game, but also to try and keep his pitch count in order. Still pretty high for Justin as we start the bottom half of the 5th inning. Ground ball towards third. Bregman charges, has time, throws out Lucroy for the first out of the 5th. 5 in a row now for Verlander.
Now batting left fielder, 38, Nick Martini.
Justin's 27th start of the year. Facing the A's lineup for the 3rd time around as Nick Martini will bat. Martini takes a strike. Martini singled. Scored on the home run by Davis his last time up. 1-1 the count. A's have more bullpen action going. Lou Trevino may have been in there just to finish off the 5th. We'll find out, but Sean Kelly beginning to loosen up. 2-1 pitch is fouled out of play. There's Kelly. Saw him in the game on Friday night. Former National. A's winning in 10 innings, 4-3 on Friday. Coming back with a 7-1 win yesterday. The Astros out in front today in a battle of 2 teams that are exactly tied for first in the AL West starting today's play. Martini does not chase the high fastball. It's 2-2. Check that 3-2. Popped up, shallow left. Marwin will come in and call off Alex Bregman. 2 outs.
Bring your pup out to the park on September 2nd for Dog Day, presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Fans interested in bringing their dog to the ballpark that night are required to buy a special Dog Day ticket package. For tickets and more information, visit astros.com/dogday.
Two outs, base is cleared. Matt Chapman, the batter. Chapman got the scoring started in this game with a home run to center field his first time up. He also walked. Both times he has matched up with Verlander. He's reached a full count. Takes that first pitch for a strike. Foul back. It's 0-2. Final game of the year for the Astros here in Oakland. Not sure how disappointing that will be for some of our AT&T viewers who seem to really enjoy the drums that continue to pound here in Oakland.
I don't know, Todd. Between the drums and my carpeted desk, this is a fantastic spot.
Big hat.
It's funny.
You missed it earlier. Blum wearing the big hat during our open today. That is a big hat that stays here in Oakland.
Yes, that
does not travel with us.
No.
So if things do get turned around today, it will be hopefully partially because of the hat, but also it's not going to go to Seattle.
Yeah, we can be honest. It'll literally have nothing to do with me or the hat.
No, fans like to think it does. How about that? Justin with another 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 7 in a row.
fans here at the Coliseum taking in a great ball game on a beautiful day in the Bay Area. And Tyler White's going to lead things off for them here. He's hoping to extend his hitting streak to 8 games. And talking to him, guys, he's feeling really good about his approach at the plate. This is a guy that's really struggled not having the consistent playing time, and that was something he just kind of had to have a conversation with himself. He had conversations with AJ Hinch. How can I be more consistent when I'm not playing every day? These guys go through that when they're sent down to AAA or whether they're coming off the bench. But he has gotten more playing time here recently and has felt really good about what he's been able to do. Hopefully carry that out. He knows that he's needed in this time where they're dealing with some injuries as well. So it's been good to see Tyler get on a roll here in August.
It has been good at bats, battling at the plate. 7-game hitting streak on the line today. He's 0 for 2 so far. Strikeout and a flyout. He'll face a new pitcher for the A's. Sean Kelly has come on here for the 6th inning.
There's some of the numbers on Sean Kelly. Between Washington and Oakland, he's held opponent right-handed hitters to 193. He's done it with a fastball slider combination, basically 50-50 on each. And to Julia's point about Tyler White turning things around and making the adjustment and basically swinging himself into this lineup for AJ Hinch while they've had some injuries, it's good to see him do that. We've seen several guys with phenomenal, almost ridiculous numbers in AAA get to the show and it doesn't translate, or it doesn't travel. Tyler White has had flashes of brilliance, but this has really been an extended amount of time for him where he's been very good and put together, like you said, TK, some good ABs to allow him to get some good pitches to hit.
Well, one thing we have seen with AJ Hinch and the Astros is they will give you an opportunity when you come up from Fresno. And if you're Tony Kemp and you're Tyler White, you take advantage of those opportunities, you get playing time.
And you stick.
The guys that have not taken advantage often don't find themselves here very long as Tyler White. Julia set it up perfectly, put it on the tee, and Tyler White singles into center field. That hitting streak's up to 8 games now for the Great White Shark.
We've seen him put it all over the ballpark, too. That's a good job on a fastball away of getting the head out and barreling it right back up the middle.
With all the mojo going on right now with Oakland, and their fans feel it. Obviously, they feel it in the dugout with that 40-13 stretch. The Astros would love to keep tacking on runs here if they can with this 6-4 lead. They have scored in each of the last 3 innings and have a leadoff runner on here in the 6th. Here's Marwin. He was robbed of a base hit his last time up. Nice play by Cannon, center field on a line drive. Marwin turns around and hits left-handed for the first time and takes a strike. Righty lefty in the same game. You've done it. Can't be easy having to turn around mid-game. That's what you get used to when you're a switch hitter.
I was just thinking about how he hit that rocket up the middle. Feels great right-handed. You're saying, I'm going to get me another AB against Manaya. I'm going to jump him. I'm going to get him. All of a sudden, your teammates knock him out of the game, and you're on the left side.
The life of a switch hitter.
Yep.
You and Kevin Bass had a good conversation about that in the last homestand.
We feel each other's pain, that's for sure.
I will say this. I'm a little surprised through all the different numbers through the years, and there's so many stats at our disposal. We could spend from now till the first pitch in Seattle tomorrow and not see every stat we need to see. But I'm surprised there's not more stats for switch hitters. Like, if Marwin gets hot right-handed, you rarely see 7 for his last 10 right-handed. They just don't separate it out for the switch hitters. It's almost unfair for you guys.
Or if you get a guy on a hitting streak, say he goes on a 14-15 day hitting streak, how many of those have been left-handed?
Right.
How many have been right-handed?
And you have your season numbers lefty and righty broken down, but like you and Kevin talked about last homestand, you could be red hot left-handed and struggling right-hander, vice versa.
Oh, there'd be plenty of times if you were going well enough and they had the bullpen up and they had a righty lefty in the bullpen, they would immediately flip you to the other side just because they knew to get you away from the side where you're swinging the bat the best.
Marwin struggled early in the year right-handed. We've seen better at bats lately right-handed with those 3 home runs on the last road trip hitting righty. Now he's got a count of 2-1. More bullpen action going for the A's. Kelly, a 34-year-old righty, delivers home, and Marwin drills one foul. Pops up into the crowd. Another sun-splashed crowd here in Oakland. They had over 30,000 yesterday for the middle game of this series.
I gave all that credit to Julia today on the bus ride in. I said, hey, I go, biggest crowd of the season. It's probably because you were running in the Legends race, Julia. She took full credit for it.
She did.
Oh, it was all me.
Yep.
Right.
Pumping up the crowd as she went behind home plate.
It was only more people to make me more nervous. That's all that did.
The fact that the inning went long didn't help you.
No. Pitching change.
Yeah.
I had to wait out a few things out there.
I know you've been getting some love for that, which you rightfully should. Have you been on the A's telecast today, too?
I did.
Nice.
They're so great.
They are.
As far as we know, you're the first visitor to be in that race. First team from a visiting team, correct?
Yes, correct.
That is groundbreaking.
Blazing a trail. Who's next?
Marwin with a count of 2-2. And he pops one out of play. Kelly acquired from the Nationals after the trade deadline August 5th. At that point, players have to clear waivers. We will see some deals here in the next 10 or 12 days before the end of the month, as teams try to shore up their postseason rosters, as other teams may have at one point before the trade deadline felt like they were in the race and now reconsidering as they head to the end of the month of August. Astros making some key acquisitions at the end of August last year, including today's starter Justin Verlander. With all that Justin has done, we still have not reached that one-year anniversary point of him joining the Astros. Seems like he's been here for a while. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Good battle between Marwin and Sean Kelly, eventually won by Kelly for the first out.
Go back to Evan Gaddis's home run on our mattress from Supermo. It's a two-seam fastball kind of running away from him, but he gets out around it. Off the end of the bat, extended a little bit, but just enough to elevate it, long enough to have hang time.
For Evan, his 24th home run of the year. Not only his stadium on the road with the most home runs as a visitor here in Oakland with 9 now, but also has 17 home runs against the A's overall. That's also the most he's hit against any opposing team. Evan giving the Astros a 5-4 lead at the time. It's now 6-4. Time is called, and Kelly throws one into the stands.
Wow, how do you hold that? He cleared the screen.
That was well played. And a lot of fans are now standing and appreciating his effort.
Are they?
There's a murmur. Fans are pretty thrilled with that pitch. It's an extra
I'd
foul
be a little
ball.
concerned.
An extra foul ball. Pay attention if you're behind the screen.
Oh my gosh.
Evan takes the strike. Where did this end up? There's no way you can tell. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I can't imagine that's a normal motion for a cameraman.
No.
He's like, what the heck? Sean Kelly's an interesting man.
Swing and a miss. Strikes out Gaddis on the fastball. Evan goes down for the second out of the inning. So with Josh Reddick, the lefty, due up, Cobb Elvin going to the lefty out of the bullpen as he'll bring in Ryan Buchter. We'll come back and tell you about him in this 6-4 game.
ever before. Download the AT&T Sportsnet app from iTunes or Google Play, or go to attsportsnet.com to stream from your computer. Log in with your cable account information and you're all set. Available to customers whose TV subscription includes AT&T Sportsnet. Subject to blackouts. Territorial restrictions apply. TK.
All right, Julia. 2 outs. Runner on first. New pitcher Ryan Buchter.
Thrown a couple of shutout innings against Houston. 26 innings in 35 appearances.
Lefty on lefty. He's the only lefty out of the A's bullpen, and he faces Josh Reddick, the only lefty in the Astros lineup. Josh takes a called strike. Thing is, when Josh was here in Oakland, there were times when he struggled lefty on lefty, but since he's been a member of the Astros, that hasn't been a problem at all. In fact, this year, Reddick hitting .287 against lefties, coming in overall .245. But when you do have a lefty as your lone southpaw in the bullpen, you try and find the matchups where you can, as Colin McHugh begins to warm up in the Astros bullpen.
Buchter's heavy on that fastball. Was it 72% of the time to left-handed hitters?
Josh fouls one back. It's 1-2. Astros leading 6-4. All the runs scored against the starter Sean Manaea in 4 innings plus 3 batters into the 5th. Buchter is the 3rd out of the A's bullpen. Lou Trevino, Sean Kelly, and now the lefty. Up and in, it's 2-2. Reddick sends one in the air to right field. Coming in is Piscotti and puts it away for the final out of the inning. Opening single, 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th in a 6-4 game.
Straw poll. We want to thank everyone for following and voting. Lots of votes coming in today as we asked, what is the biggest factor for a successful season? Health gets 54% of the vote. Coming in second was the offense at 26%. I think Astros have seen what some injuries to key players have done to their team this year. Hoping for a healthy rest of the season, guys.
Yeah, let's hope so. That is so vital as the fans voted. Verlander back out there for the 6th inning. Starts the inning with 91 pitches. That's why Colin McHugh was starting to warm up in the last half inning. Justin will face Jed Lowry, Chris Davis, and Matt Olson in the 6th inning. At least that's who he's scheduled to face. Chris Davis has been tough on Justin today with a couple of home runs on a couple of pitches. Lowry fouls one back. Justin ahead 0-2. Lowry grounded into a double play his last time up. That's the 5th time Lowry has grounded into a double play this year. Over 460 at bats. He also popped up his first time. Justin allowing 2 runs in the first on a couple of solo home runs, 2 runs in the third on a 2-run home run by Chris Davis. Ground ball foul. Tyler White diving for it, but it was foul. Saw Tim Hudson here as part of the 2002 Oakland A's team being honored before the game yesterday. Hudson won his 200th game in his 412th game of his career. 19 pitchers who have gone 412 or fewer games and picked up 200 wins or more. Swing and a miss. Verlander gets a strikeout of Lowry. That's a big out, first out of the 6th inning, not only because it continues Verlander's stretch of 8 in a row sent down, but it keeps the runner off base with Chris Davis coming to the plate.
Absolutely. Keep runners off base when you've got Chris Davis coming, but we've seen a very good breaking ball all day long from Justin Verlander. Gets another strikeout on it, that traditional 12-6. AJ and Brent Strom probably trying to map out the rest of the game.
Well, Verlander has thrown 2 pitches up in the zone, fastballs, and Davis has sent one out to left and sent one out to right center. What will he start him out with here? 3rd pitch Davis has seen today, and he takes a big rip at a fastball.
Say 3 pitches and 3 in the same spot. 1 to the pull side, 1 to the opposite field, and this one just missed.
That went a little bit further up.
But why is he letting him get extended? Whew.
He said, I want to beat you. But
yeah,
I understand.
we know he loves going after him with the fastball. He's not shy about it.
Well, we've seen 2 at 97. He's ahead 0-2. Chris Davis is 5 for 10 in his career against Verlander with 4 home runs. But Justin ahead 0-2 here. Breaking ball. Base hit. Davis continues to own Verlander. 3 for 3 today. He's a 1-out base runner in the 6th.
Got a little too much of the plate in that count. Would have liked to have seen that on that outer third, down out of the zone, maybe get the chase. But with it staying on the plate, I think that's what allowed Chris Davis, who's feeling pretty good about himself, by the way. And usually when you're feeling pretty good about yourself, you're going to have decent swings. And he put a good swing on that curveball.
Here's Matt Olson. He has struck out a couple of times today. Was called out on strikes and also down swinging his last time up. Pitch number 100 of the afternoon from Verlander. Misses inside for a ball. 2 strikeouts, part of Verlander's 6 strikeout total. 223 strikeouts on the year, which leads the American League. Ball's hit hard to right field. Reddick on the move. That'll be in front of him for a base hit. Good break by Davis. He will get to third. A's have the tying runs on board with 1 out in the 6th on a Matt Olson single to right. That will be the last batter that Justin Verlander faces today. Out of the dugout comes A.J. Hinch.
Matt Olson turned on that fastball in. He was set up, ready for it, got it, barreled it up. Luckily, it was a low launch angle, turned into a line drive instead of more.
One of Verlander's shortest outings of the season. And he hears it from the Oakland fans on his way out. Astros lead 6-4.
Purchase season tickets can enjoy many season ticket holder benefits, including guaranteed 2018 postseason priority access. For more information, visit astros.com/tickets or call 1-877-9-ASTROS.
2 runners on, 1 out in the 6th inning. This 6-4 game. Brad Peacock now comes in out of the bullpen.
Couple of runners on at first and third with 1 out. Brad Peacock will be making his 49th appearance. Looking for some swing and miss here. Tough matchup with Piscotty.
Peacock faced Piscotty in yesterday's game. Got him to ground to shortstop. The Astros would take that right here with 1 out, runners on the corners. Piscotty 0 for 2 today. Flied out to deep left his last time up. Takes a pitch inside for ball 1. Piscotty 1 for 4 in his career against Peacock. That 1 hit came the last time the A's faced the Astros. Prior to this series, it was a home run. Slider, swing and a miss, 1-1. Verlander going 5 1/3 innings today.
Yeah, the A's did a good job of laying off pitches, forcing him into some deep counts.
Justin's second shortest road start of the year. Went 5 innings in a start against Tampa Bay at Tropicana Field at the end of June. 5 1/3 today. Came in with an ERA on the road this year of 1.74. Piscotty doesn't chase that one. It's 2-1. Two and two. Astros had won the first 6 games of this season series in Oakland. A's winning the first 2 games of this series. Matched up for the final time in 2018 in the Oakland Coliseum. It's been a good one today. will play each other at Minute Maid Park on the next homestand. Now the count's full, 3-2. Crowd revved up.
They're on their feet.
He got him. Big strikeout for Brad Peacock. That is the second out of the inning.
Big slider in a great location when he needed it. Not enough of it, not a normal traditional slider that we see from Brad Peacock, but just enough movement and lack of velocity to get Piscotty well out in front of that pitch.
So now Peacock will face Marcus Semien with 2 outs. Semien 1 for 2 today. 2 for 11 in his career against Peacock. In the dirt, that'll allow the runner to advance to second. Olsen into scoring position on the wild pitch.
Maldonado doing enough to keep the runner at third base. That's the primary concern right now. But it does move that tying run into scoring position with 2 outs.
Missed the edge, 2-0. Chases one there. It's 2-1.
Scotty chased an early slider out of the zone. 2-0 count here to Semien. He chases a slider out of the zone. That's kind of what you need to feed on if you're the Astros. You're the defending World Series champs. You've been in tough situations. The younger ball club in the Oakland A's may have a tendency to be a little more aggressive in those hitters' counts.
Doesn't chase there. It's 3-1.
But what that does too is if you do fall to that 3-1 count, it plants a seed in the hitter's head. Is he going to throw me a slider or is he going to throw me that fastball?
Doesn't chase. Ball 4. The bases will be loaded. Kept going outside on Semien. He chased one, but couldn't get him to chase the others. Frank Strom being sent out by A.J. Hinch to talk to Brad Peacock with the bases loaded and Mark Canha due up at the plate. Colin McHugh, who had been warming part of the last inning and almost the entirety of this inning, now will take a seat. This is Brad Peacock's inning.
I think this meeting was just going over, re-evaluating the scouting report against Mark Canha. Also maybe a conversation about the mechanics, reinforcing some of the positives.
Some conflicting stats for Canha coming into this at bat. It's been a struggle for him in August. 139 before today and an 0 for 2 today. But in this situation all season long, runners in scoring position and 2 outs, he is a very healthy .424 hitter on the year. Bases loaded. in a 2-run game with 2 outs in the 6th. Takes a strike. Big first strike for Peacock. And a struck out against Verlander also popped up. This is inside, 1-1. Chris Davis on third base. He singled on an 0-2 pitch. Matt Olson on second base. Both of those runners the responsibility of Justin Verlander. Always an interested observer. As soon as he leaves the game. Marcus Semien, who walked, is Peacock's responsibility on first. 1-1 the count. 2-1. Peacock got to a 3-2 count against Piscotty before striking him out. Then he walked Semien on a 3-1 pitch, and now he's 2-1 on Canna and gets a little pat on the back from Martin Maldonado.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen that a couple of times from Maldonado, where he'll run out there, bark a couple of things at the pitcher, and then slap him on the behind and saying, "Let's go." Motivate these guys a little bit. Believe in your stuff. I'm putting down the right fingers. Execute, and we'll be fine.
Martin here, less than a month, already showing some leadership skills. There's a strike. It's 2-2.
Yeah, I think Martin Maldonado is showing a little bit of that leadership from behind home plate, but he's also a guy who's excited about being in contention. He hasn't been here. He wants to be a part of the magic that the Astros saw last year and help him finish it off this year.
Foul tip. Just appeased Maldonado, a little frustrated he couldn't hold on.
I understand the frustration, but it's hard to be mad at yourself when you don't catch a foul tip.
Who knew when we were here in mid-June, after the Astros swept the A's, pushed them under 500 and 11 games back in the division, that the next time around we'd be involved in a series that feels like a bit of a playoff atmosphere. That's the case today.
I was not anticipating it, especially the way the Astros are coming in here and swinging the bats. 6-0 in this ballpark in 2018 until this series right here.
This game has had great energy from the start. 2-0 lead turned into a 4-2 Astros lead. A's tie it back up. Astros tacking on single runs to make it a 6-4 lead. Big pitch again. And again a foul tip, but again Maldonado frustrated. So close to ending this inning a couple of times.
Need a bigger glove. The reaction's so immediate.
Love his attitude. Seven-pitch at bat between Canna and Peacock. He's fouled off some tough pitches. Do you go to the slider here? The slider has been the bread and butter for Brad Peacock.
We haven't really seen that nasty one in this outing for him yet.
There it is. He got him. big strikeout for Peacock. And the Astros lead 6-4, straining the bases loaded in the 6th.
Needed that nasty one. Got it. Martin Maldonado with the fist pump. Enjoying that dugout. 6-4 Astros. Presented to you by HEB. Martin Maldonado doing some good things in this ball game today. Double and a triple, scoring 2 runs. Doing a little bit of everything for the Houston Astros. Last time a catcher had a double and a triple in a game was back in 2011, Humberto Quintero. And after the big strikeout, Martin Maldonado coming back, getting some love.
What a big strikeout that was for Peacock, and what a great job to strand those runners to keep this game in the Astros' favor, as Maldonado will lead things off here in the 7th inning, facing a new pitcher for the A's. They bring on their 4th man out of the bullpen today, Emilio Pagan. Pagan with a breaking ball for his strike to Martin.
44 games this season for Pagan. 49 strikeouts. He's allowed 3 home runs in 5 appearances against these Houston Astros.
Ahead of Maldonado, 0-2. Pagan usually around the strike zone. Saw him in the game Friday night. Pitched a 1-2-3 inning, getting Gurriel, Correa, and Marwin in that inning. It'll be Martin Maldonado, then the top of the order in the 7th. Martin with that double and triple, as Blummer said, rare occurrence for an Astros catcher. He scored a couple of runs. See the bat serving Martin well in this game. He has struggled at times since coming over to the Astros, just 4 for 28 before today. Pagan misses the edge. It's 1-2. Maldonado. Will eventually, in this road trip, go back to where he started this season in Anaheim. But he has quickly become part of the Astros fabric. He is like he's been here all year.
It's a beautiful thing. It's not easy to do on some of these championship clubs, especially mid-season.
Verlander with the Astros leading 6-4 still would be in line if the Astros are able to finish off this game with the lead. This was it, the slider. We thought we might see the slider there.
Yeah, it looked like Canha was starting to catch up to that fastball, and then that slider puts Canha away on a weak swing.
If the Astros do maintain this lead, that will be the pitch that gives him his 200th win. Martin Maldonado deep to left and gone. A double, a triple, and now a home run. Have a game, Martin Maldonado. It is 7-4.
It's so good to see that guy having a good time on the baseball field. Works extremely hard. Didn't see the immediate offense when he got traded over here. We saw the immediate defense. There's a little thunder in that bat. 2 home runs in this series.
He's found the Bregman camera.
Yep, give it a stare. That's one thing you've got to learn if you're an Astro is you got to have a trademark at the end of your home run.
He's had a chance to practice a couple of times in this series. What a series for Maldonado. 1 for 3 Friday with a home run, and today a double, a triple, and a home run. And yes, he will bat again as long as AJ keeps him in the game.
Got to lay down a bunt, get that single. The machete.
The machete becoming a bazooka today with the bat.
Man, oh man.
Speaking of bunt hits, do you know the A's have gone 123 games all year without a bunt hit?
Good.
That's hard to do.
Let's impress.
That's a team that just doesn't run a lot, doesn't steal a lot, obviously doesn't play small ball a lot. As Springer rips one foul and drops the bat after that swing. It's 1-2. Straight back to the screen.
That's that left thumb is the bottom hand that George injured. That big swing and he drops the bat. It's got to be a little bit concerning for training staff and coaching staff. Because remember last year, a certain shortstop named Carlos Correa took a big swing, sprained that same ligament on that thumb.
George, a couple of hits today, including an RBI single off of the chest of Matt Chapman his last time up. Tries to hold up there, and he does.
George is in pain.
Is he? Not feeling good?
That was not a good reaction after holding up on that swing.
Got jammed on a swing earlier in this series. Showed some discomfort then. It's 3-2. Let's tighten up those gloves a little bit. Astros have scored in 4 of the last 5 innings. Maldonado with a home run to start this inning. Big swing there. Swing and a miss. Springer goes down for the first out of the 7th.
Big home run from Martin Maldonado. Fastball center cut, and he barreled it up nicely. Another home run given up by Pagan against the Astros. 4 home runs now in 6 appearances against the Astros.
Martin Maldonado. And Bregman drives one to center field. All the way back goes Canha. He's looking up. Gone! Alex Bregman matches Evan Gattis, who hit his 24th earlier this year. Bregman gets his 24th. And the Astros lead this game 8-4.
Astros bombing away here. Ambush. Now 5 home runs in 6 appearances for Pagan. Just one more thing to do if you're Alex Bregman.
Yep. Wait for it.
And something tells me he enjoys doing that.
Did that just happen?
Yep. That's going to be a bobblehead someday.
Was well done. Almost like he timed it out after the first pitch, too. 1-1 count to Yuli. Oh, that was priceless. That was a stare with flair.
One of these times, I'm going to ask him if I can ride on their bus after a win. Have a little fun.
8-4 on the Bregman home run. Oh, it's good to talk to the pitching coach, Dave Hudgens, after a home run. Or the hitting coach, rather. Swing and a miss. Yuli goes down. So home run, strikeout, home run, strikeout.
That time a slider at 85 down and away, and you kind of feel like Alex was sitting on that pitch because he went down there and covered the outside corner, and then. Is there more? I can't get enough of that.
Guy who knows his camera.
Man, oh man.
That's the guy who knows his visiting cameraman.
Yeah, how does he know the camera's still on him down there?
There's a ball rocketed but foul. Exactly. You get the first shot. You get the great reaction shot.
Yeah, we know the stare,
and
but
then
not the secondary stare.
And then Alex is just trusting that the guy's still going to be there.
Stay with me.
He's not going to go back to the pitcher at that point. That is a well played.
That's savvy. Salty veteran now. He might be glaring at the guy in center field.
Correa with an 0-1 count. Good to see the guys having fun again. Correa talked about that after the game last night, that the team needed to have some more fun, and they have today. It's an 8-4 lead, 7th inning stretch here at the Oakland Coliseum. A couple of home runs in that inning, and we're going to send it to Kevin Eschenfelder and Mike Stanton in our rooms to go lounge.
I'm not. I'm just going to take off running. I'm going! Yay! I didn't fall. I feel like that's a huge success story. But I didn't land on my face. It's our Toyota Get Out and Play. That is something I'll never forget, being a Hall of Fame Legends racer here at Oakland Coliseum, coming in second. I'm really proud of myself for not falling. That was really the only thing I was worried about. They were giving me an opportunity that not many get to do. I just did not want to ruin the opportunity for someone else. You know, I had all kinds of exit routes, plans, just in case I didn't make it all the way to right field before action was supposed to start back up again. Oh, they weren't needed, guys. They weren't needed.
Well done.
Congratulations.
It takes forever to get out of that thing as well.
The screams were, I couldn't stop laughing listening to that.
It's just pure joy, exhilarating. It's the best way I know how to describe that.
You keep mentioning, and the new pitcher Ryan Presley facing Jonathan Lucroy, you keep mentioning the first opening of the gate and how free you felt.
I did. It was like no other feeling in the world.
Oh my.
It's just you coming out into this Major League Baseball field. And nobody was going to stop me. Security wasn't going to tackle me. It was great.
Well, Presley's come in and fallen behind the number 9 hitter, Lucroy, 3-1. Lucroy has been struggling lately. A couple of ground outs today. He's 0 for his last 15. Presley on in a 4-run game, but the last thing you want to see is a base runner at the top of the order due up for the A's.
I really didn't anticipate the idea of running as a mascot being so liberating.
Well, Lucroy breaks his 0 for 15 with a soft single in the center. A's with hit number 8 on the afternoon. As far as we know one thing for sure. We know Julie was the first visitor to race in the Legends Hall of Fame race. We also think she was the first female. They're still validating that to race as either Eck or Ricky Henderson or Raleigh Fingers. So congrats to Julia, pioneer. Nick Martini takes a called strike. Martini a single, a run scored in 3 at bats. Towards second, Yuli is going to try and get the force at second. He does. Good stretch by Correa. And that's out number 1.
Now batting third baseman.
1 on, 1 out.
26.
Presley will face Matt Chapman. Presley very impressive in his inning here on Friday night. He was able to strike out Lucroy and Martini, and he got Matt Chapman on a little tapper in front of the plate that Martin Maldonado made a great play on. Facing the same 3 today. Chapman a home run and 2 at bats against Verlander. Also drew a walk.
We've seen Presley be very good recently, last couple of outings. And again, it's been that curveball that's really shown its teeth.
Put one over for a strike. It's 1-1. Presley coming over from the Minnesota Twins. Ball hit in the center field. Springer drifts back on it and makes the play for out number 2. Julia, what do you have?
Well, we've been watching the box score for Jose Altuve on his minor league rehab assignment today. Of course, he gets hit. So he's 1 for 3, and you wonder how he came out of the box today. The question about this rehab assignment today for this game was just how active he would be, because they don't know if he'll ever be active enough to test that knee. So hopefully he was given an opportunity today and can get out of that game and meet the team soon, maybe even in Seattle as early as tomorrow, maybe play the next day, because I think AJ said earlier today they would like to give him a day of rest after this game. But it is good to see, and Altuve said, this rehab assignment was really just for the confidence to know that he can rely on that knee and not feel the pain and can play at 100%. TK.
All right, that will be great to see if he is back for that Seattle series for sure. We've seen Carlos Correa return on the last homestand. George Springer return on this road trip. Now if Altuve can come back for the middle of this trip in Seattle, that'll be a huge boost.
Absolutely.
Jed Lowry bats with 2 outs. Presley ahead of the count 0-2. Lowry is 0 for 3 today. Struck out against Verlander his last time up. That was Justin's final strikeout of his 6 today.
Just kind of hanging around the clubhouse and talking to some of the guys. I don't think there's a real sense of panic with them and with what's going on as far as the standings are concerned. I think they understand the situation. They know that they're on a similar pace as they were last year. But they also know that having a guy like Altuve back is going to infuse some serious energy in these guys.
Foul tip, and they're going to argue, the A's are, that ball hit the dirt. But I think Maldonado caught that without the ball hitting the dirt. They are going to have a discussion here at home plate with Bob Melvin. But that should be a strikeout to end the inning.
High-speed highlights presented by Xfinity, fastest internet in Oakland.
Presented by Nissan. We give you 3 clues. You're going to try to guess which Astro we're talking about. Jack Cheese, not so little, and goggles is your 3rd clue. Tweet at us your best guess. We'll reveal the answer a little bit later. That 3rd clue, it's almost a giveaway. You guys thinking about it up there or what?
No. You had me at Jack Cheese.
Yeah.
Tyler White leads off in the 8th inning of an 8-4 game. Emilio Pagan still out there for the Oakland A's. Pagan allowing a couple of home runs in the 7th inning, facing Tyler White. And White takes a called strike. It's 0-2. Second time this year Pagan has faced the Astros and allowed 2 home runs in an outing. Also happened against the Astros here on June the 13th. Overall, he's allowed just 9 home runs.
All of them against the Astros. No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty much.
Seems that way, doesn't it?
5 of the 9.
Man.
Now tip caught by Lucroy for the first out of the 8th.
MLB At Bat is your #1 Astros app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Astros home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
Started mentioning in the last inning as Marwin Gonzalez will bat here about kind of the attitude of the team. Not panicking, but certainly not comfortable with the fact that the A's caught them. And I think in the scheme of things, the winner of this game is certainly not going to guarantee anything, but this trip will feel a lot better to Seattle if they're able to hold on to this lead than having to think about being in 2nd place for the first time in a couple of months.
Yeah.
I mean, that seems like an obvious statement, but I think in game 124, this is a little larger game than most in terms of where they are this season.
Yeah, just considering that the month of August is rounding out, starting to finish off here with the last couple of weeks, but this late in the season, all of a sudden things turn into a sprint. I know that these guys in the clubhouse for the Houston Astros have complete faith, and I think a lot of it starts at the beginning of games with the rotation that they have. They're pretty comfortable with those guys. And if they can continue to get healthy, good pitching, keeping them in ball games, allowing this offense to get healthy and get back in rhythm, get some good swings and get some good ABs, that's when they turn into that juggernaut of a team that we saw last year. And I think that's why HOU AT OAK is going to be a great addition for these guys too, because it's going to give them mentally, it's going to tell them that they're back to 100%. It's going to lengthen out that lineup again, put guys back into similar, more comfortable spots. And they can go back and not putting pressure on themselves, just understanding that they've got 9 guys in their lineup that are able to go out there and have quality ABs and come up big.
After today, they only face the A's 3 more times. And if you can stem some of that momentum just a little bit with a win today. Marwin drives one deep to right field. This could be another home run, and it is. The Astros get their 3rd home run against Pagan and their 5th in this game. And they now lead it 9-4 on Marwin's 11th of the season.
3-1 heater, turn and burn for Marwin Gonzalez.
They have now scored in 5 of the last 6 innings.
Number 11, Evan Gaddis.
6 of Pagan's 10 home runs allowed this year have come to the Astros.
Hadn't been really cheapies either.
No. It's Marwin's 2nd consecutive home run and as many at bats against Pagan. Here's Evan Gaddis. Takes a pitch outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Bregman's hit home runs in consecutive at bats against Pagan, and now Marwin has as well. Well, Marwin struck out on Friday, so 2 out of the last 3 at bats. Bregman's back-to-back at bats. There's a strike to Evans. 0-2.
Well, it's nice to see that with them tied up at the top with Oakland, that they're answering with some thunder. It's the consistency of thunder that you want to see from the Astros.
Olsen tries to find it and does. Nice play. Heading towards the bullpen of the Astros to retire Gaddis.
Marwin hits the fastball good. 3-1 counts, can be a fastball count. Gets one middle in, elevated.
Number 22.
No doubt.
Reddick.
Home runs today for the Astros. Marwin caps off the 5th one. Started out with Yuli hitting a 3-run shot. Evan Gaddis added a solo home run. Martin Maldonado and Alex Bregman hit solo home runs in the 7th. Now Josh Reddick swings through the first one from Pagan on the fastball. It's 0-1. Reddick looking for his first hit. Everybody else in the lineup has at least one today.
These home runs are going a long way. Over 400 feet.
All of them?
Yeah.
All
Double checking, but that last one from Marwin was 404 feet.
Wow. Good to see the bats come alive on this Sunday. They went 13 consecutive innings before today with a total of 2 hits. Going back to the final 4 innings of Friday night's game and all 9 innings last night or yesterday afternoon. But today, 13 hits and we're still in the 8th. Two and 2 the count. Hector Rondon is warming up in the Astros bullpen. A.J. Hinch hasn't had a chance to use Rondon. Did pitch in the game Friday, gave up a tying run, but in this case with a 9-4 lead, he's not taking any chances. He's saying even though
Called it on the swing.
wow. I didn't even think that was a possibility.
Today's total.
A lot of smiling faces, a lot of hugs, a lot of moments to be dressed up. That's the way baseball should be, and that's how the Astros play when they're going well. They have a lot of fun doing it, and we're seeing some big numbers. Consistency is the key from here on out for that offense. Hector Rondon is now on for the Astros.
Not normally a situation you would see Rondon, but AJ trying to make sure nothing happens with this 5-run lead as he takes over here in the 8th. Rondon pitched here Friday, allowed the tying run in the 9th inning as Chris Davis sends one way up in the air. George has plenty of time to try and find it in the sun, and does, with Reddick racing right behind him for the first out of the inning. That makes George laugh. Tony Kemp wasn't far away either.
Yeah, there were a couple of corner outfielders not too confident in the fact that George saw that the entire way.
Changes on the defense for the Astros. Marwin moved from left to second, Yuli from second to first, and you saw Tony Kemp out there in left field. Yeah, that was the rare catch in straightaway center field where both outfielders were right there to back him up. Here's Matt Olson. Olson a single his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Rondon misses. It's 2-0. And Rondon gave up that run in the 9th inning on Friday to tie the game. It was his 3rd blown save as an Astro. And a frustrating at bat for him. Obviously, the double by Martini tied the game, but it was the walk with 1 out to Chad Pinder. This ball is hit well by Olson to right field, but Reddick is on the track and has it sized up. And George tries to return the favor and get over there, but not quite in time. 2 outs. Guys in the outfield having a good time today. And Springer will retreat all the way back to center field. Here's Steven Piscotty. And when the Astros are playing well, that's the joy they play with. When they lose 7 out of 8, you don't see that as much. It's tough to have as much fun when you're trailing. But today we've seen that light side of the Astros come out. Yuli will take the pitcher's help on the flip. And a 1-2-3 inning for Hector Rondon as we enter the 9th, 9-4.
presented by Nissan. These were your 3 clues. Jack Cheese, Not So Little, and Goggles. Blummer headed at Jack for Colby Jack. Colby Rasmus is our Name That Astro today. Thanks again for playing.
All right, Julia, we head to the 9th, and the possibility of a cycle exists with the leadoff hitter.
Lay it down. Third baseman's way back.
He could, but
kidding.
It's 9-4.
And if you're feeling as good as Martin Maldonado, you are looking to swing the bat and do more damage.
Chapman's almost in the outfield at third, and Maldonado does swing at the first pitch from Pagan and send one high in the air foul. Chapman giving it a look, and it hits the top of the dugout. Maldonado trying to become the first Astro to hit for the cycle since Brandon Barnes did it against the Mariners on July 19th, more than 5 years ago. Maldonado with a double in the third, a triple in the 5th, his 3rd career triple in the major leagues, and a home run his last time up. Ground ball towards third. Chapman is there, and Maldonado will not get the cycle. But what a day it was for Martin. And the Astros fans that are here appreciate that, but Martin may never have another shot at a cycle based on those triple totals. I'm just being honest. Does that mean?
Could have been a little more gentle with it.
That was his best shot, I'm saying. Right there. Just based on the triples. Doubles, yes. Home runs, yes. Singles, yes. Triples, not so much. When you've got 3 and 1,500 at bats or more.
So another 1,500 at bats, and maybe gets another 1 or 2.
Here's George. George 2 for 4 today. He's had a nice season against the Oakland A's, hitting .362 coming in against the A's on the year. He's ahead 2-0 on Pagan. Joe Smith warming up. He should get the 9th for the Astros. Biggest guy out of the bullpen today for the Astros was Brad Peacock. Came on with a tying runs on and 1 out in the 6th inning of a 2-run game. Ryan Presley with a shutout 7th. Hector Rondon a shutout 8th. But Peacock with a strikeout with the bases loaded in the crowd, standing in the 6th with the game 6-4 at that point. Able to get Mark Canha to end that inning.
And that wasn't even with the best stuff that we've seen from Brad Peacock. He had to really fight through that inning.
And if Justin Verlander is able to get that 200th win today, he deserves a big tip of the cap to Brad Peacock for preserving that victory. As the 2 runners on base were Verlander's when he left the game.
And finally getting some run support too.
Springer pops one up foul. Now it'll be out of play. Another good crowd today. Yesterday was 32,204. Today 29,143. A's fans excited about the possibility of postseason baseball in 2018 for a team that was under 500 just a couple of months ago. George holds up. Counts 3-2. Pagan has given up 3 home runs to the Astros and facing 10 hitters so far. Maldonado, Bregman, and Marwin have all hit home runs against him. This one over the mound could be tough for Simeon. George is just out by a stride. Simeon makes the play for out number 2.
Good play. George smelling a base hit, hustling down that first base line. Simeon, not a guy known for his defensive prowess, makes a great play.
Now batting, number 2, Alex Bregman.
Well, here's Bregman. He's hit a home run against Pagan today. He hit a home run against Pagan the last time he faced him prior to today. So 2 straight at-bats against this A's right-hander. He's hit home runs. What a day for Alex overall, 3 for 4. And he swings the first pitch and pops one high in the air to left. Coming in Martini, and that'll do it for the Astros. A 1-2-3 ninth. It's still 9-4. That is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Arctic. Overbuilt, not overpriced. And by Jack in the Box. Try something different like Jack's Teriyaki Bowls for a limited time only. Beautiful views here in the Bay Area today. Our final game of the year from Oakland, where the A's are trailing the Astros 9-4 as we head to the bottom half of the 9th inning. And on for Houston is Joe Smith.
Been a good stretch for Joe since the All-Star break. 10 strikeouts, making his 41st appearance for these Houston Astros. Last time we saw him was on the 12th. Getting some work in here. He went 1 inning, gave up 1 hit.
He'll face the bottom third of the A's lineup. Marcus Semien, Mark Canha, Jonathan Lucroy. And he starts off Semien with a strike. Smith is the 5th pitcher in this game for the Astros, the 4th reliever behind Justin Verlander. Verlander stands to be the winning pitcher in this 9-4 game, and it would be his 200th of his career in start number 412. The Astros get the final 3 outs of this 5-run lead. Smith ahead 0-2. Semien has been on base twice, a single, a walk. He's also struck out. Toward short, slowly hit. Correa, quick transfer, gets Semien for the first out. Julia.
Well, we've been watching Jose Altuve in that minor league rehab assignment for the Fresno Grizzlies. Guys, he was hit by a pitch in the top of the 7th and had to leave the game. But reports say he looked to be okay. Hopefully he's just going to be a bruise. But he is out of the game after his 4th at bat, going 1 for 3 today.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Leave the little fellow alone. Mariners organization coming after Jose.
Strike called to Canha.
It's got to be somebody angry in that Fresno bullpen they could bring in, right? Just kidding. Gosh, sensitivity out there, man. Hit the MVP in the AAA game. You got to have somebody down there that's going to come in and back him up.
Devo.
There you go.
Devo's got his back. 0-2 the count to Canha. Canha 0 for 3 today. And he was the strikeout victim in the biggest at bat of this game. 6-4, 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom of the 6th. Peacock got him on a slider. Out of the plate, stays 0-2. We mentioned Tim Hudson in his 412th game picked up his 200th win. That would be the exact same number for Justin Verlander if he gets the win today. And he would join 19 others. He would be the 20th pitcher ever to get to 200 wins in 412 games or fewer. 13 of those 19 are in the Hall of Fame.
Pretty good ratio.
And one of them who's not is the Rocket, who has more Cy Young awards than anybody. So he is with elite company, to say the least. He gets to 200 today. Another one who's not in the Hall of Fame is still pitching, CC Sabathia. Roy Halladay hasn't been eligible to be voted. He's in that group. One and two the count. Chopped right back to Joe Smith. He waits and sidearms to Yuli, and that's 2 away. The Astros 1 out away from regaining sole possession of first place in the AL West. Chad Pinder will hit for Jonathan Lucroy. Foul tip for strike number 1. Five home runs in this game for the Astros, as they would score in 5 of 6 innings between the 3rd and the 8th. Put up 6 runs today on Sean Manaea, the most they have scored against the A's lefty in 12 starts in his career against Houston. 3 more against Emilio Pagan, and now Joe Smith trying to wrap things up with an 0-2 count. Low for a ball. It's 1-2. Seattle's down 12-1 in their game, so a chance for the Astros to pick up a game on both the A's and the Mariners. Seattle started the day 3.5 back of both the A's and the Astros in the West. Tomorrow to be Felix Hernandez against Garrett Cole to start that 3-game series. 3-game show starts at 8:30.
I like that matchup. King Felix having some issues this season, but King Felix has had real issues recently in the last couple of years against this Astros offense.
Swing and a miss, and that'll do it. The Astros back in first place by themselves with a 9-4 victory. And congratulations to Justin Verlander, who picks up his 200th career win. The Astros take 1 out of 3 against the A's, and they will head to Seattle in first place thanks to 5 home runs. We will have more coming up after a big day by Martin Maldonado. The post-game show right around the corner.
That's the